Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the course Management Information Systems. We're going to continue with the same chapter 10, that is Information and Decision Support Systems. Last lecture में we were talking about the transaction processing system and we were talking about the management information systems as well. As we said कि इस वाले chapter में we're going to talk about the information systems that are basically catered to the different levels of the management. Different levels of the management पे जो information systems use हो रहे हैं, हम इस chapter में उन information systems की बात कर रहे थे. We talked about the transaction processing systems that were working at the operational level. उसके अलावा we started talking about the management information systems और उसमें हमने बोला था the management information systems basically क्या करते हैं, they help the managers do the work. And what is their work is to control and monitoring the basic operations and the routine tasks. So MIS was basically helping the managers do their work, which is about the controlling, the organizing and planning the different organizational tasks at the operational level. So they were basically working at the management level, at the middle management level. MIS उन managers को cater करते हैं जो middle management के ऊपर होते हैं, लेकिन they are basically looking at the work that is done by the people at the operational level. So, and हमने उसमें ये बात की थी that when we talk about the MIS, तो MIS के different types of inputs होते हैं that include the data that it gets from the TPS as well as ERP systems, as well as the company supply chain, as well as data warehouses or data marts से data जा रहा होता है, along with external data that is coming from the suppliers. The external data means के कंपनी के बाहर से supplier से आ रहा है, customer से आ रहा है, stakeholder से आ रहा है, as well as through internet as well. Then we looked at the different outputs of the MIS. MIS के outputs की जब हमने बात की थी, then we said that the basic output that these MIS generate is in the form of reports, in the form of summaries, in the form of comparison reports. So basically it is a set of reports that the managers are looking at these reports and planning accordingly, or coordinating the things accordingly, or organizing accordingly to the reports that were generated by the MIS. So MIS basically can generate different kinds of reports. Number one being the scheduled reports, जो कि periodic basis के ऊपर आ रही थी. Then there were the key indicator reports that was being generated once a day, usually at the beginning of the day, beginning of the transactions जो भी शुरू होती हैं, to highlight the critical transactions that took place yesterday or the previous day, so that the manager can have a look at what happened yesterday and plan के आज के दिन पे क्या क्या करने हैं और कल के दिन पे while looking at the comparison of yesterday's work and today's work. So the next one being the demand report. Demand report basically, again, as the name suggests, is it is requested, it is demanded when required. Then we have the exception reports are generated only when situations are unusual or require special management attention. So they are generated only then. For example, these can be programmed to be triggered at a certain point again, and it is up to the managers. For example, if there is a certain inventory that is going low, then there has to be a certain trigger for that कि अगर inventory जो है वो 5 items से नीचे जा रही है या उसका sale point 5 items से नीचे चला गया है, then it has to generate a certain alarm or generate a certain report that specifies that a certain limit has been reached or an unusual situation has occurred. Then we have the drill down reports. Basically क्या करते हैं, they allow the managers to have a detailed view of a certain situation. For example, the department sales के अंदर company sales. If they're looking at the company sales, they can look at the department sales, and in that department sales, they can look at a certain sales representatives' sales. So they can have a detailed view of a certain event or a certain situation. Then we talked about the characteristics of the MIS, saying that basically MIS जो है reports generate करते हैं, which are in a specific format, and these reports are in the hard copy form and the soft copy form as well, and they use again the data from the external sources as well as the internal sources as well. And the customers can develop their own kinds of reports, whatever is required by them as well. Today we're going to start with the different kinds of management information systems depending on the functional area. So number one being discussed today will be the financial MIS. So functional aspects of the MIS या functional areas जो होते हैं management information systems के, आज वो discuss करेंगे. Along with that, we're going to discuss the different kinds of decision making की तरफ हम जाएंगे, and in the next lecture we're going to talk about the decision support system. So after finishing with the MIS, I'm going to give you introduction of what is decision making, so that you can have an idea of कि जो decision support systems जो हैं वो किस लिए use होंगे, और not exactly किस तरह, but you're going to have an idea of how the decision support systems are basically supporting the decision making process. Righty. So for the moment, MIS, we're going to talk about the functional aspects, and number one is the financial MIS. When we talk about the financial management information systems, तो उसमें आ जाता है what is financial information systems means that what do they do? क्या करते हैं? They provide financial information not only to the executives, but they provide financial information, any kind of financial information, to any kind of decision maker or any kind of person who needs to make a certain decision considering operational information as well as the financial information. So basically they are used to streamline the reports of different transactions. Along with that, जो financial MIS है, that performs a different kind of functions as well. The number and the basic function जो है इसका, that is all about integrating, all about accessing, all about analyzing the different kinds of information. So number one function of the financial information system is integrating the financial and operational information. So any financial information that is related to any kind of operational activity or any kind of transaction, that is stored in the financial information system. Then along with integrating or storing that information, it provides an easy access to financial data and information. So number one function is integrating that information, storing it in a place, then providing an easy access to that information, either through the help of internet or through the help of intranet or through the help of a corporate website, a corporate web page or a financial page that can be used by the workers or whoever is involved in the financial process. Right. So they can access that financial information easily. Next is making that financial data immediately available. And after that, you have the data available, then it allows the multi-dimensional analysis of the financial data. So number one is making that data available for the analysis and doing the analysis on that data from different aspects of the dimensions of from different dimensions. That means in terms of time, in terms of what kind of plant it is, or in terms of product. So you can analyze that data in different dimensions, like we said. And after that, another function of the financial information systems is that it allows analyzing the historical data and current financial activity as well, or doing a kind of a comparison between these two activities, the historical data and the current financial activity. So these are the basic functions of the financial management system. So basically it is all about integrating the financial information, bringing it into one place, making the access easier, making that information available for any kind of analysis, so that with the help of that analysis a proper decision can be made, any kind of decision that is required for the company. Right, now the management information systems के different basically subsystems होते हैं जिनको हम उसके different functions भी कह सकते हैं that can be categorized. So subsystems of the financial management information systems are the profit, loss and cost system. Number one is that. क्या चीज़ है profit, loss and cost systems का क्या मतलब है कि these systems are used to compute the revenues, profits and costs. So from where? From the profit centers. Profit centers का क्या मतलब है? Those departments or those centers in an organization that are directly related with the profit that the company produces. For example, credit card department होगा, या for example the investment department would be directly related with the profit generation. So it gets data from that place. Then revenue center means those departments or centers that are related with generating revenue, for example marketing and sales department. So it gets data from there. Then we have the cost centers. Cost centers means that they are not directly related with the revenue generation, but they are indirectly related with it. For example, the manufacturing or research department. So it gets data from all these kind of departments, the profit department, the profit center, revenue center and cost center, and it's used to compute and compare the costs between these three kinds of centers. Right, then we have another function or another subsystem that works under the financial MIS is auditing. Auditing क्या चीज़ होती है? Basically it reviews the financial situation of the organization as well as it looks into the different kinds of reports that are generated by the financial information system to basically evaluate if they are correct or not, or if they're right or not. So basically computer systems again are used, or information systems again are used in helping in both kind of auditing, that is the internal auditing as well as external auditing. Internal auditing क्या होती है? वो auditing जो company के अंदर के लोग ही कर रहे होते हैं. External auditing basically is done by people apart from the company. For example, there are external companies or companies जिनका काम यही है कि they do the auditing for different kinds of other companies. So people can hire a company, another auditing company to do their auditing. उसको हम external auditing कहेंगे. Internal auditing में again company के अंदर के लोग, या for example they would assign certain managers or executives to do the auditing of the company financial data, etc., or information. So again, information systems and computer systems are used in the auditing process as well. Next we have the uses and management of funds. That means these systems help in using the funds internally. जो भी funds generate हो रहे हैं वो company के अंदर internally किस तरह use हो सकते हैं. For example, such as purchasing the inventory, such as updating the equipment, hiring the employees, etc., etc. This is all about using and managing the funds internally. इसके अलावा we have externally, external management में आ जाता है investment in other revenue generators, for example. So either the company is using the funds internally, or it's using the funds externally, or you have to create a balance between these two kinds of funds. So again, this financial MIS basically helps in the management of funds as well. Right जी, so we talked about the financial management information systems कि हमें इसी तरह के financial management information systems जो होते हैं उनके क्या-क्या functionalities हैं, उनके क्या-क्या characteristics हैं, what are the functions that are done by the financial MIS. Similarly, we're going to talk about manufacturing. So manufacturing department में, for example, if you're using the MIS in the functional area of manufacturing, तो उसके क्या-क्या functions और characteristics या फिर उसके कौन से subsystems हैं, let's have a look at that. So when we talk about information systems, we say that it has basically changed the way the businesses do their business, the organizations do their business. So और उन्होंने बहुत सारे departments को affect किया, right? But information systems have basically revolutionized the way the organizations do their manufacturing. So उन्होंने manufacturing को एक completely change कर दिया, dramatically improve कर दिया because of the information systems and computer systems. अब कैसे कर दिया? That now there are computerized systems, machines and जिनके पीछे computers काम कर रहे हैं, and those computers are basically controlling the machines to do the manufacturing, from small drilling machines to huge car manufacturing machines. So there are machines that are controlled by the computer system. So हम उस सारे system को, along with the machines, along with the computerized system that's working behind them, हम उस सारे system को information system कहते हैं. Right ji. MIS subsystems and outputs, what do? They basically monitor and control the flow of material and products and services throughout the organization. So that means कि वो monitor and control करते हैं सारे manufacturing process को, that is raw material when it's converted to the intermediate product, or when it is converted to the parts, or when it's converted to the finished product. So throughout that chain, these information systems control and monitor the whole chain of production. So they basically monitor the whole process of transforming raw materials to finished good. For example, we have the auto manufacturers example, car manufacturers for example. वो क्या करते हैं? Again, they use the different kinds of raw materials, metal use करेंगे, plastic use करेंगे, rubber use करेंगे, and they create a car out of all those raw materials. So basically, they add value to that raw material. And how do they do that? Again, they not only use people, they not only use procedures, they use machines, they use computer systems, they use technology, they use the hardware, they use the software, and everything combined together to create a car. Again, उनमें बहुत सारे systems ऐसे use हो रहे हैं that are simply controlled by, that are computerized, जिनको हम कहते हैं. That means they are controlled by a certain software, they are controlled by a certain computer that is working behind them. Again, and what do they do with that? Raw material को ले रहे हैं, उसको एक information system के process से गुजार रहे हैं. That is again a combination of the procedures, people, as well as machines, software, hardware, all combined together to produce a certain valuable output. Now they generate a lot of value to that product, and they relate a lot of value to that product as well. और इसके अलावा अगर वो उनके अंदर एक और feature add करते हैं, for example, customizing the color as well, paint color, तो again उसकी जो value है वो increase हो जाती है. That person can have his own customized paint, so they can have a system जिसमें उन्होंने सिर्फ उस system को बताना है कि this is the color that the person requires, and he needs to spray this color on the car. So वो manufacturing के वक्त ही वो car customized हो जाती है. Again, this is again a value adding technique. Right जी. इसके manufacturing MIS के different subsystems again when we say it goes raw material से लेके final product तक, it controls and monitors the whole manufacturing. तो उसमें सबसे पहली चीज़ होती है that is called design. That is you, for example, अगर आप कोई भी चीज़ create करना चाह रहे हैं, you design it on paper, for example, that this is what it's going to be. This is what we have in mind, and this is how it's going to work out. So the first process is designing and engineering. That is, और जब हम MIS की बात करें, information systems की बात करते हैं, then we're going to talk about the computers. That is, they use computer-aided design with new or existing products. That is CAD, जिसको हम computer-aided design भी बोलते हैं. वो वाला system use करते हैं for creating or changing the products as well. So basically इसमें क्या होता है, आपके पास एक computerized blueprint create हो जाता है, and that blueprint can be constantly revised as well. So it goes to certain testing, the prototypes are created. The prototypes can only be created in simulation as well. For example, bridge बना रहे हैं, you can create the simulation of the bridge. उसके अंदर वो जो सारे environmental factors होते हैं, it is all about mathematical calculation. So all those environmental factors can be mathematically calculated. The weights can be mathematically put in the simulation, and they can check the feasibility of the bridge as well. They can check the feasibility of the car, for example. They can check the feasibility of the airplane, for example. So जैसे कि आपके हमारे book में एक example दी हुई थी Boeing manufacturers की. These are again aircraft manufacturers. Boeing aircraft है. उसके लिए वो क्या use करते हैं? Computer aided design use करते हैं. Again, they put that blueprint through different kinds of prototypes, through different kinds of testing, and they test how is that going to be, और उसके अंदर कोई और changes की ज़रूरत है, या उसको update करने की ज़रूरत है, या उसको improve करने की ज़रूरत है. So what happens is, with the help of this computer aided design, they एक तो ये कि they reduce a number of errors, or they reduce a number of risks, as well as because of that they reduce the manufacturing costs as well. So they can only create a product that the system has declared as the best product. या this product के ऊपर सब लोग decide हो गए that this is going to be the best product. So computer-aided design basically is used to reduce the number of manufacturing costs, materials, raw materials जो extra लग रहा है वो reduce हो जाता है, because you are basically testing everything on the computer as well before you start manufacturing it. Right जी. Next we have manufacturing MIS में next subsystem is the master production scheduling and inventory control. And this is the very important part, because once you have the design, then you start the production of that or you start the manufacturing of that product. So उसमें क्या होता है, you start scheduling that this is the raw material that is required, this is the deadline that we have, and this is the time we have to complete the finished product. So what does that system help you to do is provide detailed plans for both long-term as well as short-term of scheduling manufacturing facilities. दो तीन concepts उसमें आ जाते हैं that you must be familiar if you've done supply chain management. तो उसमें दो तीन concepts आ जाते हैं. One is the economic order quantity, that is you are minimizing the inventory costs. Again, how that is you are ordering the raw material only when it's required. Then we have the materials requirement planning, again a concept that is used in the supply chain management, that once you decide that this is the deadline for a finished product, then you start working backwards towards other kinds of deadlines of the raw materials as well as the resources required. So once you have the final product deadline, तो फिर आप पीछे काम करना शुरू करते हैं कि चलो इस डेट तक we should get this kind of raw material, इस डेट तक ये वाला part complete होना चाहिए. So it's a whole big process of scheduling that works in the backward direction from the finished product deadline. Then we have the just-in-time inventory. Again, just-in-time inventory की हमने पहले भी बात की थी when we were talking about the SCM and supply chain management system. That just-in-time is that the raw material gets into the factory whenever or into the assembly line whenever it's required, and the finished products are shipped as soon as they are completed. So there are no inventory costs या उनको inventory ज़्यादा देर रखने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती. So it lessens the inventory again in the distribution centers or the warehouses. So all these kind of techniques, all these kind of concepts can be helped with the help of the computer systems. Again, when अगर आपके computerized scheduling होगी, you will have the information going from one place to another, or information share हो रही होगी throughout the supply chain again. Then you can have a proper scheduling plan. Also, manufacturing MIS is concerned with the process control. Again, this is the basic manufacturing happening here. So, इसमें क्या हो रहा है? Again, computers are being used, information systems are being used in the actual manufacturing as well. So, managers use the technologies to control and streamline the whole manufacturing process, either through computer-aided manufacturing, that is given here, CAM, computer assisted manufacturing या computer aided manufacturing जिसको हम बोलते हैं. इसमें क्या है? Again, like I said, I talked about the auto manufacturers की हमने बात की थी that they use machines, or they're kind of other kind of manufacturers again who use machines that have softwares working behind them, a whole computer system that is managing those machines. So जिसको हम कहते हैं ना कि machine के through ये सब काम हो रहा है, or it's done automatically and it's not done manually. So उसका मतलब है that there is a certain kind of computer software that is working behind those machines and that is handling those machines. Then there is computer integrated manufacturing as well, which is not only just concerned with a certain manufacturing at a certain moment. In fact, it links the order processing with the design in the manufacturing, the quality control, and then the shipping. So computer integrated manufacturing basically a complete process को handle करता है. and it controls and monitors the whole process right from where the order is placed till the point of shipping. और उसके दरमियान वो सारा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का प्रोसेस भी सारा कंट्रोल और मॉनिटर हो रहा था थ्रू द कंप्यूटर इंटीग्रेटेड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग. Right, next we have the quality control and testing. Again, this is very important process of the manufacturing MIS, that a process that ensures that the finished product meets the customer's needs. This is what we mean by quality control, कि जो भी customer की needs थी या demands थी, the finished product satisfies that or not. Again, information systems are used to monitor quality and take corrective steps to eliminate any kind of quality issues. So, throughout the process, again, like we said, the manufacturing MIS basically monitor and control the whole manufacturing process right from the raw materials to the point of the finished product. Computer-aided manufacturing takes that one step ahead by looking at the whole process right from the ordering till the point of the shipment. Okay, next we're going to talk about the marketing MIS. That is again functional area कौन सा है management का, जैसे sales और marketing है, उसमें जब MIS काम करेगा, helping the managers, what is it going to do and what are the functions of the marketing MIS. So basically what it does, it supports the managers in the marketing department. That is, it supports the managerial activities in what? Product development, distribution, pricing decisions, promotional effectiveness and sales forecasting. So basically क्या इसकी चीज़ें आ रही हैं, that is product development आ रहा है, distribution आ रहा है, marketing है, sales है, promotions है. So all these kind of things that happen in the marketing department, these systems basically help the managers achieve operational excellency of these tasks. Right, so different subsystems that are responsible for these tasks, and they include number one being the market research. Market research का क्या मतलब है? That it's basically a formal study of what is the market demand, what is required by the market, what is happening in the market, as well as the customer needs and customer demand. So एक formal study जो होती है, that's done with the help of different kinds of surveys, questionnaires, interviews. तो वो सारी चीज़ों का जो result आता है आपके पास, then you need again a computer systems to analyze the results that is received by those different methods. ये जो interviews हो सकते हैं या surveys हो सकते हैं, they can be online surveys as well. Questionnaires again can be done through the help of internet as well, or they can be done face to face as well. So again, computer systems are used to not only conduct these kind of research as well, it is also used to help analyze the results of the research as well. Right ji. Next we have the product development. Product development का क्या मतलब है? The computer basically help that is concerned with turning the raw material again to a finished product. उस सारे system को computers again they are help to analyze and select the appropriate mix of factors involved. Factors कौन से involved होते हैं in the product development? They could be the plant capacity, it could be the labor or the skills required, or it could be the raw materials required, either they're available or they're not available, and what kinds of raw material would be required. So computer systems क्या करते हैं? Analyze करते हैं and they select the appropriate mix. That these kind this can happen in this plant, ये वाला plant ज़्यादा बड़ा है, ये वाला plant छोटा है और अगर छोटी production हो रही है, that can happen in this plant. Will be the equipment used, these will be the skills of the laborers used, and these are the raw materials used. So basically they help you analyze the requirements that are required for the product development. Right, next we have the promotion and advertising. इसमें क्या होता है that because the marketing basically जो उसका एक basic aspect है, that is all about promotion and advertising, and ये भी कहा जाता है कि product की जो success है that is based on a good promotion and it is based on a good advertising. If the product has been advertised in the best possible manner, then that means the people will be more attracted towards that product. So again, the computer systems are used for different kinds of promotion and advertising, not just from creating an advertisement, but to also promoting as well. So internet basically एक बहुत utilized tool है जिसको कहते हैं बहुत popular tool है that is used for promotions and advertising. Again, that is dependent on the computer systems again. Right, next we have the product pricing. Product pricing is an important marketing function जिसमें companies have pricing policies that maximize the revenues. So again, computers are used to figure out the relationship between the different kind of process that is the market price, the sales price, etc. etc. So pricing को भी control करने के लिए और analyze करने के लिए the computer systems are used for that purpose as well. Then we have the sales analysis. Again, several kinds of reports are generated to make managers good decision makers. For example, showing a report for months from different dimensions. Right, sales analysis again is an important aspect of the marketing MIS. जिसमें क्या होता है that different kinds of reports are generated to help the managers make certain decisions. अब reports जो create हो रही हैं that can again be based on different dimensions. For example, we have the sales report that is based on different months. Monthly sales report, for example, जिसको हम कह लें. Now that monthly sales report can be in different dimensions as well. For example, it can be sales by product. हर month में कौन कौन से product sale हुआ. It could be sales by the sales representative. हर month में कौन से sales representative ने कौन से product sale किया. Or it can be sales by customers. The report can be sales by customer as well. How that is that a certain customer bought this product in these months. So it can give a view from different dimensions to the manager, so that they can make proper planning and they can make proper sales analysis as well. Okay, next functional department जिसकी हम बात करेंगे that would be the HR or the human resource. वहाँ पे जो MIS for example अगर use हो रहा है that would be the human resource or HR MIS जिसको हम बोलेंगे. What is it concerned with? It's concerned with the previous as well as the current and the future employees. किस किस्म के employees काम किए, उनके कौन से skill sets थे, what are the current employees, who is available, what would be the future employees, what is the requirement of the company के किस किस्म के future requirements, कौन सी skill sets के employees required है, etc. etc. So this is all concerned with the it's part of the human resource management information system. So basically it helps in workforce analysis, what kind of workforce the company has, planning for the requirement of the different kinds of workforce as well as hiring, training and job assignment as well. So what basically they do is they try to keep the workforce cost to the minimum. That is by utilizing the people according to their skills, they basically minimize the workforce costs. अब इसके अंदर भी different subsystems काम कर रहे हैं HR MIS में, and these subsystems are concerned with number one is the HR planning, that is human resource planning. Basic मकसद इसका क्या है, that is to place the right number and kind of employee in the right job. That means कितने required लोग, कौन से skill sets वाले लोग required हैं in a certain job. So it is basically used to do that. And it also used for planning the workforce needs and supplies. For example, कि अगर एक बंदा किसी area में job कर रहा है तो उसको कौन कौन सी चीजें required होंगी to accomplish his or her task. Right, so this is all concerned with the HR planning. Then we have the basic HR का जो काम होता है, that is all about selecting and recruiting, that is hiring people. That can be done with the help of internet as well. Internet में जब करते हैं तो उसमें क्या करते हैं, they give a template to the people that you need to fill in your resume in the template, so that it will be easier for them to analyze the different kinds of resumes and to compare the different resumes once everything is in the same slot. So एक तो ये कि it becomes easier for the people to create the resumes. Why? Because they only have to fill in the information. They don't have to think कि कौन सी information डालनी है, कौन सी छोड़नी है. So whatever the company requires कि उनको ये वाली information required है of a person, the people can then simply fill in that information, and they can look through the information online, or they can look through the information on the computers, and select a required person. As well as they can schedule the recruitment as well through the help of computers as well. Then is the training and skills, that is the different kinds of skills जो हैं वो evaluate or test हो सकती हैं with the help of computers, and the analysis of those tests can be done again with the help of computers as well. Apart from these functions या subsystems के जो काम है, Human Resource MIS is also concerned with the salary administration of the employees as well as scheduling and job placement. Again, scheduling and job placement simply means that once you have analyzed the skills of the person, then according to that skills you are placing that person in the specific job उस company में जो भी required है या उसने जिसके लिए resume दिया, and if it doesn't fit in there and some other department requires a person with that skill set, then the person can go in that department as well. So it's all about using the people, using the workforce and minimizing the costs of the workforce so that it can be utilized to their maximum abilities and skills. So these were all about the different kinds of functional aspects of the MIS. That means that functional areas में जब management information systems use हो रहे हैं, then how are they being used and what are they basically helping the managers achieve. So like we talked about different kinds of functional MIS, we said they're working in the financial MIS, there is the manufacturing MIS, there is the marketing MIS, there is the HR MIS. So all these MIS are basically helping the managers achieve a certain operational excellency or do their jobs in a good way or do decision making in a good way. So these are basically assisting the managers do their task of planning, organizing and controlling this different transactions and operations in the organization. Right, next we're going to start off with the decision support systems. और उसमें सबसे पहली चीज़ जो हम देखेंगे, that would be the whole decision making process. कि एक decision जो होती है वो होता क्या चीज़ है and किस type की decisions होती हैं और decision का जो process है what उसमें कौन-कौन से steps हैं and how does the decision support system going to help in decision making. So number one is we're going to talk about the types of decisions. We're not just talking about the decisions in the daily life, we're talking about the ones that happen in the organization. अब उसको हम तीन categories में divide करते हैं. Number one being the structured decisions. ठीक है? Structured decisions, if you remember that we talked about that in chapter 2 as well, that जब हमने different decisions की बात की थी and we talked about the hierarchy of the organization. We said operational level के ऊपर there are different kinds of decisions, middle management level के ऊपर जिसको हम tactical level बोलते हैं. Tactical level पे there are different kinds of decisions. Again at the strategic level, that is the top management or the executive level के ऊपर there are different kinds of decisions. So structured decisions क्या है? Routine and repetitive decisions होती हैं that happen on the ongoing basis daily. So they basically have the definite procedures for handling the problems. एक definite procedure होता है, एक definite problem होता है, and there's a definite solution to that problem. And they only have to say, okay, this is a problem, let's do this. So this is a simple problem definition solving the problem. उसमें question किस किस्म का राइज हो सकता है? Is some employee entitled to overtime pay or not? Right? उसके लिए वो क्या कर सकते हैं? कंप्यूटर सिस्टम देख सकते हैं, hours worked उसके देख सकते हैं. If he has done the overtime, then you just give him the overtime pay. So problem solved here. Unstructured decisions again are at the very topmost level. That means the decision maker must provide judgment, evaluation and insight. इसमें जो computer systems होते हैं, they do not provide you an answer to a certain thing, but they basically help you in doing a good judgment, in doing a good evaluation and having the insight. So इसमें जो systems use हो रहे हैं, they're basically there to assist in that decision making process. The decisions are novel, means they are different, important and they are non-routine completely. So they are basically concerned with the complex problem solving. Question would be, should we enter a new market or not? So again, it's not a simple question. The organization needs to enter in a new market means it needs to start developing a new kind of product. Now, this is a kind of decision that is taken by the top executive level or the top managers, that they have to not only analyze the different markets, they not only have to analyze what the customers need, they not only have to analyze that आपकी जो company है वो कितना produce कर सकती है, cost kitni required है. So there are a number of factors that are involved here, and since there are a number of factors that is affecting that decision, that's why that decision is most crucial, and this is a complex problem. Then we talk about the semi-structured decisions. Again, these work at the middle management level. They have elements of both type of decisions, but not at certain extremes. दोनों types के elements होंगे, half routine होगा, half complex होगा. So part of the problem has a clear-cut answer. One part of the problem has a clear-cut answer, one part of the problem might have the managers have to do a certain research for that. For example, why is the reported order fulfillment report showing a decline over the past 6 months? Righty? So why is the reported order fulfillment report showing a decline over the past 6 months? That means the manager is going to look at the reports, he's going to look at the past 6 months reports, then he's going to do a certain kind of analysis of the different kinds of reports जो उसको मिल रही हैं, या वो market research भी थोड़ी सी करेगा, and then he's going to come up with a solution to that problem. So this again is not a very complex problem. He can look at the reports even from the internal data as well and figure out that this was causing the problem. So these are called the semi-structured decisions. Again, decisions can be structured, unstructured and semi-structured decisions. And again, we're going to see that decision support systems जो हैं, they not only work at the very higher level, वो हर तरह के decisions को cater करते हैं at the different management levels as well. So let's have a look at this hierarchy again, जिसमें हमारा top most के ऊपर senior management है, we have the middle management, we have the operational management here. यहाँ पे हमारे पास again we have the structured, we have the semi-structured, we have the completely unstructured decision characteristics working at this level. Then examples किस किस्म की होती हैं? Again we're going to have a look at the simple examples at the operational level के ऊपर. Simply we are determining the overtime eligibility. Yes, like I gave you the example के overtime उस employee ने काम किया है कि नहीं. As simple as that, you have to look at the system and know it. Either you need to restock the inventory or not. That is simple, yes or no. Offer credit to customers, yes or no, depending on the customers. Determine special offers to customers. Again, this is a lower level decisions. Then at the second level, that is the middle management पे semi-structured decisions की किस किस्म की example है? Design a marketing plan. Again, this is a middle management level decision कि उन्होंने marketing plan decide करना है. Again, then this is not something that is very problematic या उस किस्म की चीज़ नहीं है जो उनको once in a year करनी पड़ती है. They probably have to do this kind of decision twice a month या monthly basis पे, or whenever a new product comes in, or even if that old product they want to do a complete new marketing strategy for it, then they can do it. Develop a departmental budget and design a new corporate website. Again, थोड़े बहुत decisions required होंगे. They can consult the executive top management for that. They can do their own decision making of this is what is required in the corporate website. This is what the customers would like. This is what the for example, the competitor is doing. So it's a little bit of analysis, a little bit of information that is already available, and they can come up with a decision. Unstructured decisions would be completely complex and completely new. For example, decide entrance or exit from markets. They want to enter a market, the company wants to enter a market, the company wants to exit from a market. Approve the capital budget, what will be the capital budget of the organization, and deciding long-term goals. Again, deciding long-term goals again is the job of the top-level executives, that what is the company going to achieve in 5 years, what are going to be the 5-year plan, किस किस्म के प्रोडक्ट्स उनको और क्रिएट करने हैं, कौन सी सर्विसेज और क्रिएट करनी है, वर्कफोर्स को डाउनसाइज करना है नहीं करना, stuff like that, or if they're getting into any kind of problem, financial problem, how are they going to come out of it. So there are different kinds of decisions that happen throughout the organization, but they are working at the different levels. और operational level के ऊपर और decisions हैं, middle management पे और decisions हैं, senior management पे again very unstructured decisions. Right, the decision making process basically आपके पास जो है there was a person called Herbert Simon. He has basically given the model of the decision making process जिसमें different phases हैं decision making के. Decision making को basically हम problem solving के साथ attach करते हैं because why are you using the decision making? It is because you want to solve a certain problem, right? You have identified the problem and you need to decide on a certain solution, and उस solution को achieve करने के लिए you have to go through a decision process जिसको हम decision making process बोलते हैं. So in the first step here is the intelligence. Intelligence basically क्या है? It's all about the problem discovery. It means that what is the problem. It's all about identifying and defining the potential problems. That this is a certain problem. For example, there is a farmer who wants to ship the fruits to a different city. For example, Punjab के किसी area में है, and he wants to ship the products to Karachi, any kind of coastal city. And that is again a long distance that the fruit has to cover. So they have to keep in mind that fruit जो है वो बासी ना, for example, shouldn't get bad over the way, and it needs to get to the place certain time in a certain cost again. So this will be the problem. For example, this is the problem again. So this first phase, intelligence, is basically all about identifying the problem, defining the problem, that this is the problem and you need to find a solution for this problem. Designing basically is developing the alternate solutions, that you have this problem and this problem will be solved in either this way or this way or this way. So there will be different solutions, and evaluating the feasibility that is associated with those solutions. For example, the fruit can go either on trucks, the fruit can go either on airplanes, or it can go through any other kind of means which is the cost-effective means. So it's going to evaluate the costs and the time associated with all these kind of solutions. Right. Choice is all about choosing the solution. You have the alternate solutions, you have the feasibility associated with those solutions. Now you have to only say, okay, fine. Considering the cost, considering the time, considering that our product does not get perished on way, या फिर वो रास्ते में खराब नहीं हो रहा है इस तरह, then this is the best solution. For example, उन्होंने decide किया that they are going to send the fruit, because वो इस किस्म का fruit है कि वो जल्दी खराब होता है, then that fruit needs to be sent through a plane. ठीक है? So उन्होंने ये for example choose कर लिया. Now this is the point where they have chosen, they have made a decision. उसके बाद उसका एक problem solving phase still continues. आपका decision phase जो है वो खत्म हो गया. You have decided on a certain point. You have decided on a certain choice. Then comes a extended problem solving case जिसमें implementation आती है as well as monitoring आती है. Implementation क्या है? Is that you actually work on that plan of action. जो भी आपने एक plan choose किया है, जो भी आपने choice choose किया है, that is basically selecting a course of action, that this is what you have to do, and the solution is put into effect. अब वो वाले जो सारे काम वो होना शुरू हो जाते हैं. For example, plane के ऊपर उन्होंने जो भी decide किया था, they are going to tell the people that okay fine, we're going to do this. They're going to talk with the companies, they're going to decide on the cost fare, etc, etc, different चीजें decide करते हैं. And then comes the monitoring, that is evaluating if the anticipated results have been achieved or not, or that require certain kind of modifications or not. Right? For example, if you have selected a plane that is going to do a stopover somewhere, then उस plane का कोई फायदा नहीं है, because if that plane is going to do a stopover, that means that because of the temperature changes, because of the humidity, maybe because of any kind of delay, that fruit is going to get bad. So they're going to use another kind of flight, for example, to the direct flight होगी जो directly उस product को पहुंचा रही है. And monitoring also includes a session of feedback as well as adjustment. So concerns on the feedback, the evaluation, say अगर किसी भी point पे, as you can see here, right, as you can see here, the arrows are not only going down, but at every stage they are going up as well. They're going back to the previous phase. For example, if they cannot come up with a certain number of solutions, they're going to go back and analyze the problem again, that either this was the problem or not. Again, if they cannot come up with a different choice, they're going to go back and think of any other kind of solution if they cannot make a good choice. Again, if the implementation did not work out well, they're going to go back to the choice and again go back to design phase as well. This is how our mind works as well. We figure out a problem, we think of different ways to solve the problem, we decide on a certain solution and we act on it. Now, if you act on a certain thing and it does not work well, then again we think about something else and we start acting on that. So this is a simple decision-making cognitive process. Again, it is described here again. Intelligence is all about discovering, identifying, understanding the problem. That is why certain things happen, what is the problem and where is the problem. Then design is all about identifying, exploring various solutions to the problem. Choice is all about choosing among the different problems. Implementation is making the chosen alternative work. जो भी choose किया है उसको working phase में लेके आते हैं. Monitoring is all about evaluating the implementation, whether anticipated results are achieved or not. And if not achieved, then they're going to again move on to the other kind of implementation phase, again another kind of choice, etc., etc. So the purpose of telling you all this is that you have an idea that how हमारा human mind भी जो है वो इसी तरह decision making करता है. So once you have decided इसी तरह, once you have decided that this is the decision process, तो आपके लिए जो decision support systems हैं उनको implement करना या उनको utilize करना आसान होगा कि different phases के ऊपर आप कौन सा system use कर सकते हैं या कौन सी ऐसा system हो सकता है कि जो आपको different phases के ऊपर assist कर सके. For example, probably you don't need a system that is going to work on the intelligence phase, but you need a system that is going to work on a design phase. Right? For example, you can give the problem to the system and the system can come up with different solutions, because you cannot probably think of the number of solutions that are already available. So the system can come up with different kind of solutions and the different kinds of feasibility reports associated with that solutions, and the choice of the decision wala jo process hai, jo choice hai, that remains with you. The system might give you a possible choice as well. Probably you have a system जो कि decision support में आपको एक choice level के ऊपर भी लेके जा रहा है, that this is the best available answer to it. And certain systems do that as well. Lekin basically your decision support systems are basically, the word support is used here. So they are being used to help you do that, aid you in doing that decision. Right, next जब हम ये decision making की बात करें, we're going to talk about the approaches. Like we said कि वो आपको choice level के ऊपर जब decision support system लेके जा रहा है तो वो कौन सी techniques use कर रहा है. It is using, number one is optimization. Optimization basically क्या है कि different certain choices available हैं, different conditions भी available हैं, different assumptions भी available हैं. ठीक है? So based on those conditions and assumptions, it's going to give you a best solution. That this is or basically उसमें जो चीज़ use हो रही है, that is called a problem constraint. The concept that is concerned with the conditions and assumptions is the problem constraint, जिसको हम कहते हैं. For example, a problem constraint can be the number of available work hours. For example, in a company, an employee cannot work for more than 8 hours. So this is a problem constraint. The system can generate that agar banda 12 hours kaam kare, then this is the optimal efficiency that can be achieved, but the problem constraint is that people cannot work for more than 8 hours in a company. For example, this is the rule. So the system is going to utilize that problem constraint. जो भी limit है उसको consider करके it is going to give you a possible solution or the best possible solution. For example, it can give you the optimal number of products to achieve the optimal profit. So this could be again the optimization to meet the certain organization goals. So optimization basically gives you the best of the best solution considering all kinds of assumptions, जो भी आप assumptions उनको computer में feed कर सकते हैं, that it can give you. Satisficing, on the other hand, basically finds a good solution but not the best solution, because sometimes it is difficult for you to evaluate all the possible solutions or all the possible जो भी available options हैं उनको, it would be costly and time consuming to basically evaluate all that. For example, if a company wants to build another manufacturing plant in another city, तो वो ये evaluate करना चाहेंगे कि वो किस जगह के ऊपर वो बनाए, किस city में बनाए. Now, it would be difficult to analyze all the cities of the country, for example, or all the cities in a certain province, for example. But what they're going to do is they're going to look at the main cities. Main जगहों को pick up करेंगे, वहाँ की locations को वो देखेंगे. For example, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 5 या 6 cities को उन्होंने देखा that these are the possible solutions and we're going to select from these cities जो कि good options उनको नज़र आ रही हैं. So that way they're not going to get the best option. Probably they have missed out the best option in minimizing the selection. So they're going to come up with a satisficing solution, जिसको हम कहते हैं, and it's going to be a good solution but not the best solution. And then there's another method called heuristics. That means a rule of thumb, जिसको हम कहते हैं, in other words, that means के जो computer systems हैं, they basically use a specific procedures or a specific guidelines to come up with a certain solution. So procedures and guidelines to achieve decision making, they're going to follow that set of rules or a set of guidelines to come to a certain kind of solution. For example, a certain antivirus software uses heuristics or a certain level of guidelines or again procedures to figure out if a certain email is a spam or not. So again, set of rules होते हैं, rule of thumb जिसको हम कहते हैं कि either इस system में ये होगा, then it can be considered as spam or not. So ये different decision making approaches हैं that can be used by different kinds of computer systems or information systems. जब हम decision support systems की बात करते हैं, so these decision support systems can use these techniques to basically help or aid in the decision making process by optimization, by giving a solution based on optimization, satisficing or heuristics. Right, so far what have we done? We have talked about हमने management information systems को continue किया था. We said the management information systems, when they work in the functional areas, then each are cater to the different functional area needs as well. So their functions and their subsystems are based on whatever that functional area requires. Then we moved on to the decision support systems, where we said that first we're going to see what is decision making, uska process kya hai, and what techniques are basically used. एक तो ये कि हमारा human mind किस तरह काम करता है when making a decision, so that we're going to make the phases stand out, that what are the phases in the decision making process, right from intelligence to design to choice and to implementation and then monitoring. So, and after that we looked at the different kinds of decision making approaches, that when the computer systems are going to help you in the decision making, then they have to follow a certain pattern. One pattern is optimization, second pattern is satisficing, and the third one is heuristic. So these are the different techniques that can be used in different decision support systems to help you or help the executives, all the managers at different levels to achieve a certain decision. In the next lecture, we're going to talk about the different decision support systems. Uske characteristics kya hain, capabilities kya hain. Along with that, we're going to discuss the group decision support systems, that जब systems DSS जब use होते हैं in a group तो उनके क्या characteristics होते हैं. Then we're going to talk about the executive support systems, that when these systems work at the executive level, then what are the requirements of those systems and what are the capabilities of those systems, and how do those systems help the managers and decision makers as well as executive achieve operational excellency, and it helps them in making good decisions as well. So this is all for this lecture. We're going to meet in the next one. Thank you very much.